So in today's session, we will talk about the basics of command line, Linux command line and file operations. So let's start with the basic commands. Let's first show you the ls command, that is list directories. So this command is used to list the directories and file in the current directory. Let's run this. So it shows the directories that is shown in blue color, and this is exactly the file. It is shown in red color. And yeah, this is pretty much we can use more options with this, like dash a. Here you can see the hidden files like these, along with the main files that was shown before. So this is dash a is basically the option, or you can say the flags. How you can know more about like what are the options it has, and what is this flag and option used for. So for that, we'll use the manual entry page, and how you can access that in terminal through another command, that is man command. Okay, then followed by the name of the command you want to know about. Then ls command, here it shows it explains that it is used for listing the directory contents, and here's the description, like it lists the information about the files in the current directory by default. Okay, then you can use some prefix with that. Dash is for all, do not ignore entries. Then there's like dash d is for directories, showing only the directories. Then the file type, you can write the format and all. Okay, let me show you some of them. And to quiet this page, because you are not going to you can't choose the control C option. For that you have to press the Q button. Okay, so you can also see some other options in short form by using ls dash dash help. So one thing, that dash dash help, you can use it most with the most of the commands. It will help you to give a quick summary of what is this command is about, and the options available with this command, and a short description of it, like do not ignore entries starting with h, and the hidden files and all. Okay, so let's use some of them. ls-l, it shows the permissions, what are the permissions have in this, for this particular directory. I will explain you in this session only, at the end. Okay, so don't worry about it, what is it is and all. And one more thing, yeah, like you can you so for this particular command, we have built-in alias, that is ll. Here you can see both are two different commands, but giving the same output, because the system by default create an alias for this command. Okay, ll. And alias is basically you create to, let's say your username Ubuntu, but you want to use a short form for yourself, that is ubu. Okay, so for that you have to create an alias Ubuntu. Okay, like this is the format of creating an alias in this in Ubuntu. Okay, alias, then the short form you want to use. Make sure that this short form should not be a keyword or already present, that is already present in Linux. Okay, let's say Uber is nothing in this Linux, so there's nothing to worry. But let's say if you want to create an alias of this, ls is actually a keyword. Okay, here you can see ls is actually a command, so don't use something like that for creating an alias. Use something that is uncommon, that is not present in your system as a package or something. Okay, don't use a keyword. So alias is another command that is used. Let's say if uh, I want to use ls dash a, so for that, okay, so let's say I want to use la for that, okay. But let you know, ls dash a is has already an alias by default, that is la, which was set by the system, and you can access it. I didn't implement it, I didn't execute it, I just press the control c. So it has already a alias. Here you can see la shows both the dot directories and files, as well as the permissions, okay. So, and one more thing, whatever alias you will create, this will be last in the current session only. If something you create and it won't be able, you won't be able to access it in the next terminal, okay. So make sure you create a global alias. You have, for that you have to let's say pass hardship, okay. You have to add here at the end of the file, like this, alias, then something like here you can see here is already some alias for ls dot this and then ls dot this. So similarly you can create alias for something. You can do it for yourself for whatever you want to create alias for, okay. For vim, yeah, one more thing, I have used vim but I didn't told you what is it. So basically vim is a text editor, okay. So let's say you have a file, let's say I have a file s.sh, it is a script, okay. So vim is a editor, text editor, okay. You have to install it first, apt install vim. Vim by default it was not present in your system, so you have to install it. By default you have nano, another text editor. So there are different text editor in the market, you can use based on your preference. I use vim. So then password, it shows it has already been installed in your system and currently on its newest version. Then vim, name of the file s.sh, enter. Now here is some code, you can change it. So for that, here you can see it was showing the, okay, so here if I click I, it shows enter option. Now I can change anything, let's say hello, I can write into this particular file, and in order to save this I have to click escape button, then colon, then wq in order to save that, or you can also use x in order to save that. And if you don't want to save the changes you did to this file, you can use q exclamatory mark, okay. And I don't want to save it, so click enter. I will show one more thing, one two three more thing. So then colon, escape, colon, then percentage d, enter. Here you can see the complete content of this file has been deleted, so I don't want to save it. So what I will do, q exclamatory mark, enter. I will see, you can see there all the file content are already there. Now if you want to search something, you have to use forward slash, then the word you want to search. Let's say I want to search code, here the code has been selected. Now click enter. Now if you want to search, like if you want to see if there's another word with this, if there's another word in this file, you can use n and shift n is for the next and shift n is for the previous word, okay. This is pretty much for the vim shell, vim editor. Now clear, So clear is a clear. It basically a simple command that is used to delete clear your terminal. Okay, and there's more command that is like history to see what are the commands you have run till now. Okay, so our next command will be like make directory. So mkdir, it is used to create a directory in this current location. Okay, so if let's say I want to create a directory of practice, name practice. Okay, enter. Here you can see a practice directory name has been has been created in my current directory. So if I want to see what is my current directory, how we can see that using another command, that is pwd command. So it shows my present working directory, which is /home/home. Okay, now uh, if you want to go inside this practice directory, how you can go there using cd command, that is change directory, then the name of the directory, then enter. Here you can see I just write pr and click tab button and complete my sentence. So in linux you have one positive point that if you have something that is single thing, let's say there's only one directory which start with pr, so I just click tab, so it will automatically complete the sentence for me. Okay, that's a very positive point for a linux user. So ls, here you can see there's no output, that means there's no file. So how we can create file? Okay, one more thing, if I want to delete this directory, okay, this dot is used for going back one step back. Okay, so if I want to delete this directory, particular directory, I can delete using rm directory and the name of the directory. Okay, now checking, here you can see the package directory has been removed. You can also delete using rm dash r. Dash r is for recursively. Okay, let's say you have a directory and directory contain more files. So in order to delete the complete directory along with the files, you have to use dash r option. Dash r is for recursive deletion. You will encounter more commands which has the dash r option associated with that to in order to do recursive operations. Recursive operation is need to carry out on a group of files or folders present inside a folder. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Now again let's create the practice directory. Here you can see I have getting auto recommendation. This is because I'm using another, I'm not using bash rc, sorry, I'm not using bash shell, I'm using the ZSS shell. Okay, so it's a high, like this shell has some uh, better options than the bash shell. You can also use it, just google it about the ZSH and you will find the ZSH. Okay, so our like next command will be echo command. Okay, let me show you how you can check about what is your shell name. So this is the environment variable, this is the global environment variable set by the system itself, and echo is a command which is just used to print something in your system. It is also used to add some content inside your file. Okay, so it shows my default shell is ZSS shell. Okay, echo, let's say I want to print something, hello there. Okay, enter. You can see whatever I just write, it just printed there. You can use a number of options. We can also use it to put it inside some other content, let's say. Okay, then this, if I want to create some file, you can also create some file with this echo command. Okay, so the next file, let's say I will name the file.txt, normal file. Okay, ls, here you can see a file with name file.txt has been created. If you want to see the content of the file, you will use cat command or less command. Yeah, these two commands if you want to use. Most of the time you should try to use less command. It was better than cat command. Okay, I will tell you later why is that. So cat file.txt, it showed it has one line of content, that is hello there, which I put it inside using echo command. One more thing, if you write something hello me something and again use this command, enter. Now if you check like cat this file, you will see the hello there has been omitted and replaced by the hello me. So in order to do that, in order to write next to this particular line, you have to use double greater than sign. Okay, let me show you how you can do that. Hello me, hello there, let's say hello there, double sign, then the file name, enter. Now if you cat this file, you can see hello there along with hello me is there. So one greater than sign is used to override, and double greater than sign is used to append the into the content of the file. Okay, let's first clear the terminal, checking the number of files. Now we have completed some of the basic command. Okay, so if you want to delete this file, how you can do that? You can do that with rm dash, okay, rm file dot this ls. Here you can see there is no file left. Let's create this let's create the file again. So for creating a file, I'm going to use another command, that is touch command. Touch command is used to create a file. Okay, it is not used to create a directory, it is used to create only a file. Now I will do ls. Here you can see it has a file. There's more options with that, like if you want to create a number of file with a particular format, let's say file 1, okay, 1 dot 3, enter next. So what it does basically, it create 3 files with the name 1 2 3 with dot txt. Show you how. Here you can see file 1, file 2, file there was only one file, that is file.txt. now I have 3 more files, so it save my time. You can instead use separately create them, like file1.txt, file2.txt, but I didn't do so. You can use a shortcut like this. Okay, I will just control C, press control C and exit this. Now clear the terminal. Now let's say if you want to create a copy of this file, okay, file this, let's first create a directory. Okay, directory, the name directory. Okay, now ls, there's one directory with 4 files. If I want to create a copy of this file inside this directory is currently empty. So how we can do that? For that we can use cp command, that is copy, then the name of the file we want to copy, then to what location we want to copy this file. So I will write directory. Okay, so what it does, it copy this file inside this directory. Let's see, there is no changes. Let's go inside this directory. Now here you can see now it has a file, that is file.txt. Now going back with change directory command, cd command. Now if let's I will talk, like I will also tell you about the less command, how it is better than cat command. Okay, so let's first add some content inside the file.txt. Okay, sorry, vim.file.txt, enter. This contains some word I for enter. Hello there, I am back. Okay. Now if you do cat this file, sorry, cat this file, you can see the content of the file. Okay. But if you less this file, use less command with this file, what it does, it shows you in particular format, like it put you in uh, another UI. Okay, so it shows you in another kind of like another tab. Okay, so how it is better than cat file? First of all, it saves space, which was, if let's say if your file contain thousands millions of lines, so what it does basically keeps on rendering new lines like terminal, down, so you won't be able to read all that in one go. So for that we will use less. What it does, it shows top of top content of file in the current page, and if you keep moving downward, it shows with your with whatever range you go. Okay, so use less instead of cat. Use cat only if the file content is small, only 10 to 15 lines max. So we have talked about alias. Okay, one more thing, that is IPA. So IPA is used to see basically the interfaces. IP is basically related to networking part, which will be covered in the next sessions, coming sessions. Okay, so if we, it shows like whatever the interfaces. This is the loopback interface, this is the ethernet interface, this is wi-fi interface. It has got some IP from my router, then some bridges built made by myself, then the docker bridge, then the wi-fi interface. Okay, so this is a common command you should know basically. And then there's some more like who am I. It shows the name of the system, like whose it belongs. Then the yeah, chmod command. Okay, so let's go, let's create a terminal. So chmod command is used to change the permission of a file. Permissions of the file is very important to know. Let me show you why. So it's this is what shows the permission. Okay, divided into four sections. The first section is directory. D is for directory, D is for directory. Okay, dash. Okay, so let me change here, sorry. Okay, so D is for directory. Okay, dash is used for file, and there is one more thing, that is link. L is for link. Okay, so the first letter shows the what kind of file or folder or link it is. So it is a directory. D is for directory, dash is for file. Look, these four are files and one is directory. Okay, then the next option is divided into three sections, three uh, into three parts. Okay, the first three belongs to user, the second three belongs to group, and the last three belongs to others, whatever other users, uh, excluding the group users and the particular user. Okay, the owner of the particular file or directory. So basically users are those which own the particular directory, and group are like a group of users which have some certain rights on the particular directory or file, and others are all the other users other than these two. Okay, other than these two. And what are these RWX? So R stands for read, W stands for write, and X stands for execute. So it shows the permissions, uh, permissions granted to these particular users. Okay, so for first three RWX, it shows for user we have granted read, write, and execute options. Then for the group, it again shows read, write, execute option. But for the others, we have only granted read and execute option. The write option has not been granted to other users. Okay, and let me tell you what is like read, write, and execute. So read is basically reading the content inside the file and all. Okay, if you don't have read option, you can't read anything about the file content. Even you can't see what is inside the directory if you don't have the read options. Okay, so write option is basically changing the content. Like if you want to change a particular file's content, if you want to change anything inside a directory, so you should have the right option, otherwise you won't be able to do that. Then the execute options. Let's say if you can't do any kind of operations to a particular file. Let's say if you want to execute a file, you won't be able to do that. If you want to enter the particular directory, you don't even won't be able to do that. Even you have write operation, you won't be able to, because doing anything inside a directory is considered as execution. Okay, so you won't be able to do that. Okay, so we can control the changing of this directory, changing the permissions. How we can do that? We can do that through chmod command. Chmod command is used to change the permissions for a particular directory or file. uh, let's say file has read, write options, it doesn't have execute options. So in order to provide execute option, we will use dash x flag, dash plus x flag in the name of the file, enter. Now if we write ll, here you can see it has for all the users, groups, and others, it get the execute permission. And in order to take back the execute permission, we will use minus x command. Okay, enter. So here is it, we have taken all the permissions of execution from the file .txt file. Okay, now if you want to give particular permission to a particular file, how you can do that, let me show you. Chmod u plus x file .txt ll. So here you can see it, previously file.txt has no execute permission for the user, but now we have execute permission for a particular user. Okay, so u is for user, and g is for group, and then o is for others. Okay, remember this. You can sorry o is for others, g for group, and u is similarly you can do for groups and others too, like o plus x, o minus x, g plus x, g minus x. You can grant permission exactly similarly like that. You can even grant more permissions, like others have neither write permissions nor the execute permissions, so you can keep permissions of write and execute with the name of the file followed by the name of the file. Now you will check the permission. Here you can see you have already given the permission of read, write, and execute to this file. Okay, so moving forward, uh, we have Let's first clear the terminal, okay?
So there is one more method to give permissions to files and folders. So it's numeric representation. So in this numeric representation, what you have to do, the format of this representation is chmod, then 3 digits, okay, then the name of the file or folder, okay, sorry, folder. So what are the 3 digits we are talking about? So it was D is range from 0 to 7, okay, and the first D is used to give the permission for the first user, then second D is used to give permission for the group, and the third D is used to give the permission for the others, okay. So let's talk about, so first of all we just learn about these three values. For read, the value is 4, and for the write the value is 2, and for the execute the value is 1. So you have to learn only these three values, then you can easily do numeric representation for this file permissions and ownership, okay. So uh, let me tell you how you can do that. So okay, here you can see the for the owner user, the current owner of this file, there is no rights for read and there is no right for read and execute, and for the group there is no right for execute, and for the others there is no right for read and write, okay. Now uh, the task will be to give the permission to this file which is not available here, okay. So we are going to give permission which is not available here and take away those permission which is already given to this file. So for the user we have to give read and execute permission. I just denote it by plus and take away minus write permission, okay. For the group we have to give the execute permission and take away the rewrite permission. Then for the others we have to give read and write permission, read write, and take away the execute permission, okay. So just remember this, what we have to give and what we want to take away for this file. So now let's move to its numeric representation. So just you have to remember these three, basically these three representation. For read we have to represent it with the 4, for write we have to represent it 2, and for execute we have to represent it with 1. So okay, one more thing is missing. So 0 is for no writes. So these are the 8 executions for each of the user, group, and others ownership. So if we use 0, that means there are no rights we are giving to particular owner. If we use exec 1, that means we are giving execute right to the whatever owner it was, okay. As here you can see, for execute we have using the representation of 1. Then for write, for 2 we are giving the write permissions. Similarly for 3, now here is a twist, there is no 3 in this from this 3 presentation, but we are using 3. So how we make up to 3? So you can see 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So we can say that by adding execute and write we can add up to we can make up to 3. Similarly we did here. So there is write and execute, we are giving permission of these two using the representation through 3, okay. Similarly for the 4, it has the read permission, Then for the 5 it has the read plus execute permission. Then for the 6 it has a read and write permission. Then for the 7 it is the sum of all these permissions. So you can say that it has the lower limit of 0 and the higher limit of up to 7. Okay, so now what we have to do, first cancel this, we have to give user the permission of read and execute. So let's see where is the read and execute. So here is the read and execute permission, so we have to give 5. Okay, if, see, you can say that why we are moving to the group, why we don't remove this write permission from the user. So here you can see, if we just give 5, we write 5 here, so what will happen, it basically give the read and write read and execute permission, whereas it take away the write permission for the user. Okay, then for the second part, for the group, we have to give the execute permission. So for execute we have to use only 1. Then for the others ownership, we have to give read and write permissions, read and write, that is 6. Then the name of the file .txt, enter. If now you will see, for the user, for the owner user, we have given the read and execute permission, whereas for this group we have given the execute permission, and for the others we have given the read and write permission. So in the previous method, we can only change the permission of any owner one at a time. Okay, we can only change the permissions of any of the ownership only one at a time. But in this method we can change the ownership of all these 3 owners in just one go. Okay, so it is more efficient and better way to handle the file permissions. So you have to understand this. Now let's see some more examples with that. Okay, now for, let's say, we have to change permissions for this file too. So what we will do, so we want to only give the write permission, we don't want to give the read permission. So for write we will use 2. Then for this owner group, we want to give permission of read and execute, that sums is 5. And then for the others, we want to give the write execute permission, that is 4 plus 2, 6. Then the name of the file, now let's check it. Here you can see, for the file 2 we have given the write permission, we have given the read and execute permission, and we have given the read and write permission. Okay, so sorry, so I add up the wrong one. So basically we want to give the write and execute permission, but we have given the read and write permission equal to 6. Here you can see, and we want to give the write and execute permission which is equal to C. So we will just change it. Now here you can see we have given the write and execute permission as we said earlier. Similarly we can change for other files, but we can change the permissions for other files. And one more thing about the permissions that is important, if we change the permission for the directory, let's change the permission for the directory first. So let's say we have choose some values, just some random values. Okay, then the name of the directory. So here you can see we have successfully changed the permission for this directory. But now when we enter to this directory, here you can see there is one file. Okay, so there is one file.txt with no permissions. So how is that happen? So also uh, remember that this command is used to change the permission of the current directory or file. This command is not going to change the permission for all the files and folders that is present inside a directory. So in order to do that, in order to change the files and directories that are present to the current directory which we want to change the permission for, so for that we have to use recursive. Okay, so let's clear. Okay, so let's change. Let's go back first. Now if we want to change the permission for the whole directory, how we can do that? We will use the same command, but we will add one more option, that is dash capital R, not small r. For recursively changing all the files and folders inside the directory, we have to use capital R. Most of the commands uses small r for recursive feature, but in this for this command we have to use capital R. So now let's run it. Let's go inside the directory. Let's see for the permissions. Here you can see the permissions for the files has also been changed. So this is much of it, basic things. You can know more about the chmod command and more options about chmod command using manual entry page. Okay, I'm just quieting this. Let's clear the terminal. And okay, so one more command I have forgot to explain you. Okay, so let's go back first. So if you want to, let's say want to move this file into this directory, inside this directory. Okay, how we can do that? For that we have another command, that is mv. This is for move, then the name of the file we want to move. Okay, we can also give multiple files. Let's see, we want to move file 32. Then after we write all the file names we want to move, we can write the destination part. So where we want to move the files, so we want to move inside the directory dir. Okay, let's enter. Here you can see the file 2 and file 3 has been removed. Then let's go with inside the directory. Let's check for the content. So here you can see the file 2 and file 3 has been moved successfully to this directory. So this is it. Let's clear the terminal. So this is it for this today's session of basics of Linux commands and file operations. In the next session we are going to talk about the package management in Linux.